Hi, my name is Miles Clapp, and I'm a freshman at Mattoon High School, and my favorite sport is wrestling. So I was flipping through my devotional book this week, and I found a page that I really liked, and I wanted to share it with you guys. It's a Focus on the Family book written by Joe White, and this book is called Fuel. I would definitely recommend checking it out if you guys can. I like a lot of the devotions in it. But I found one that was written by a guy, and he was talking about how a lot of his friends were really rich and how their lifestyles differed because they know Jesus. So it starts out and he says, one man he knew was starting his own business, and he actually struck it rich because his business just took off and he made smart decisions, but he ended up giving a lot of his money back to the community and to churches, over 1,600 churches to be exact, because he knew God and he had God in his heart, and he felt that that was right. He also talks about another friend that he had that made around $100,000 a year, and she would go on lots of mission trips and give a lot of her time to missions and to places that were struck by poverty. And she said that she felt the happiest and closest to God when she was doing that because it just felt right. He also talks about another kid that he met that was by no means rich, but he made 25 cents a day by memorizing Bible verses. And what this kid would do is he'd save up his money and go and give it to homeless shelters because that's what he felt was on his heart. He was blessed with at least a little bit of money, and he could give it back, and that's what he felt God's calling was. And he talks about one last man that he knew for a really long time. He says this man inherited $100 million from his father, but there was always something wrong with him. He said he was never happy, and he said he never thought he actually saw him smile. He spent over 90% of the inheritance within the first year and became depressed. And So what's the big difference between the kid that got 25 cents a day from memorizing Bible verses and the multimillionaire? Well, it's pretty simple. He had God in the end game in his life. He planned out what he wanted to do and what he wanted in the end. He knew that he wanted to be with God, and he wanted to see God's promise fulfilled. See, what Jesus promises us is that he will prepare a room in his Father's house for us in the end, and he believed that. Since he fulfilled what God wanted him to do, he knows that he will get this in his life, or when his life is over. So I want you to think about what you want. Do you want a room in God's house, or do you want to enjoy life right now?